the morning of November 15th, 2021, Halo Infinite was surprise released into the world like Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas was released into the world of retail stores 14 days earlier. Ever since the release of Cyberpunk 2077 back in 2020, holy shit, has it been a year? The world of first-person shooters has been marred by, let's just say, a bumpy few entries in the genre, with games ranging in popularity from a very shaky but promising beta like Battlefield 2042, to the money machine clones of Call of Duty Vanguard and Far Cry 6, to the surprisingly good releases like Deathloop and Back 4 Blood. All of these releases felt like they were cinematically building up to a climax. Where does Halo Infinite fit in this scale? Somewhere like over here. Halo Infinite effectively looked down from its cloud and said,
"You foolish mortals, behold what a real FPS combat looks like."
It should be pretty telling that despite my old PC sounding like it's about to join the Space Force and my mouse and keyboard aim being more shaky than a fucking chihuahua with cerebral palsy, I still lost about 4 hours in adrenaline-induced screen coma. But what exactly makes this the spiritual successor to the powerhouse of the original Halo that you yearned for 20 years since its original conception? What we think of as classic Halo was originally developed by Bungie, yes, that same Bungie. Shortly after shipping Halo 3, Bungie announced its split from Microsoft, which is where the team that created Infinite, 343 Industries, was born. 343 continued to make Halo games up until present day, but none of their releases really seemed to capture that nostalgic goodness that Bungie had created since their split. They experimented around with the Halo formula, even going so far as to create an arcade game, but nothing really captured that magic. Perhaps for the poetic return to form was the hiring of the previous Bungie employee and writer Joseph Staten, as well as the return of split screenplay after a bit of heat from the community after its removal from previous iterations. Halo Infinite, of course, had its setbacks, the biggest one of which being the virus which shall not be named, but the hype for development continued to build. Pre-releases of the game came under a bit of critical fire, with one major notable issue being that the graphical fidelity of the game looked more akin to a high-effort Roblox mod rather than a AAA game. But hey, we got Craig the Brute out of it, so it wasn't all that bad. But even through the backlash, the focus on delivering a nostalgia, dream-fulfilling game remained the focus, with Dan Chosik, I'm gonna slaughter that name, tweeting, "I want you to know your voice matters and is heard. I always want to live up to the legacy that Bungie pioneered. I personally care a lot about honoring that." So what about Infinite makes it feel like the Halo equivalent of the Avengers Endgame? Starting with the weapon, Halo Infinite not only brought the return of some classics like your assault rifles and your needlers, but also some brand new entries like the Commando or my personal favorite, the Skewer. In a game where weapons are few but carefully balanced, seeing any new weapons gives players a bunch of new toys to play with, as well as make their Raid Shadow Legends sponsored highlight reels. And best of all, we aren't even 100% sure that this is the entire list. With how much of a tease Microsoft has been about the whole charade, they may just end up announcing a Battle Royale mode for all we know. In just the beta alone, we have 10 maps, 3 for the big team modes and 7 for the more traditional combat modes and smaller engagements. Even on my dollar store graphics card, the art, design, and aesthetic could make a Renaissance artist blush. Combine these with Infinite's abilities, vehicles, cosmetic customization, and it's frankly easy to see why this beta has been one of the smoothest and most well-received betas of this whole year. Which is why, even though my graphics card ends in only 3 digits and I look as uncomfortable on mouse and keyboard as a politician working a minimum wage job, I don't like Halo Infinite. I love Halo Infinite. Obviously, I would have a much better experience if I was able to play with the higher graphics on my completely legitimately acquired PlayStation 5 that I totally didn't buy off some back alley trench-coated salesperson. But even despite that, the game is a lot of fun. I've been playing and messing around with a lot of different games, just finding something to do. As you guys might know, this is a primarily Destiny channel, and it's been a little bit dry, but Halo Infinite feels fantastic. The weapon balance feels on point. I'm enjoying the huge amount of game modes and possibilities that the game has with it right now. When this game releases, just based off of the research I was doing into how long this game has really been in development, I cannot wait to see the full story for this. It promises to be really, really cool. If you guys enjoy this, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Bless your faces, and deuces.